Hi, everybody. Welcome to another week of Can You Memorize the Presidents of the United States? Pledge allegiance to the flag. Hail to the chief. Here we go. All right, it's week 3, and we are going to introduce some fun new things. This week, I got a funny joke for you. Ain't no bad joke like a dad joke. And I got some bad dad jokes, even though I'm a mom. Here you go. What would George Washington be if he were alive today? Anyone? Anyone? Really, really old. Ah. Okay, last week we had a history mystery. Which founding father wrote an essay called Fart Proudly? Hint, this person was never president of the United States, but they were a founding father. Who could it be? Really? Remember, he wrote this essay as a commentary on the scientific community taking itself too seriously, and he wanted to challenge scientists to really find out what makes us toot. I can give you some ideas. It was Benjamin Franklin. He was one smart fella, and he felt smart. Say that 10 times. See if you can. I dare you. Oh yeah, Ben Franklin is the man. He was pretty funny, by the way. Did a lot of satirical cartoons and everything during the Revolutionary War period. All right, we left off with Andrew Jackson, and this week we're talking about Martin Van Buren, who was his successor from 1837 to 1841. He had some wicked cool sideburns. Looks like he was stuck in a wind tunnel. I really love this man's facial hair. Just going to say it. He was the first president of the United States to be born a citizen of the United States. Yes, sir. All previous presidents were British subjects prior to that. So congratulations, Martin Van Buren. Merca. He continued with Andrew Jackson's removal of Native Americans from the southeastern part of the United States in order to open up farmland for farmers in the South. And this resulted in using the U.S. Army to actually move those Native Americans west, and in an event called the Trail of Tears. And those Indians were moved to Oklahoma Territory. And actually, it's estimated some 1,000 or so Indians died on that journey. So pretty terrible, terrible times. His presidency was defined by the Panic of 1837. This was an economic depression that was the result of a stock market crash. Banks failed. People run into the banks trying to get their money out. The economy just ground to a halt, and lots of people put the blame on Andrew Jackson. It was his policies that were really responsible for it, but unfortunately, Martin Van Buren took the blame, and when he ran for president, it was difficult for him to win re-election. So yes, as the first president born to be a U.S. citizen, where at least I know I'm free. There you go, Martin Van Buren. We next have William Henry Harrison from 1841 to 1841. Now you say, wait a minute, I thought presidential terms were 4 years minimum. Well, you got to live that long, I guess. He actually is more known for how he died and what he did before being president, because his presidency was so short. So he actually waged war when the United States was waging war against the Indians in the Northwest Territory. He is pretty famous for his military exploits in the Battle of Tippecanoe. And in fact, that was one of his campaign slogans. Tippecanoe and Tyler too was part of the campaign slogans that he was known for. He actually died about a month after he took office. He gave his inauguration speech in a downpour, ultimately, and it was a really long inauguration speech, ultimately ended up with pneumonia and died. How sad. Poor William Harrison. So his vice president, John Tyler, was president and sworn in. He was known as the accidental president because he didn't actually get elected to be president. And he was sworn in 1841, and he was served till 1845. Harrison's nickname was Tippecanoe, and this was the Tyler II. They had won that election against Martin Van Buren. He passes or gets passed through Congress the Log Cabin Bill. This gives settlers the right to claim land before they officially purchase it for a very, very low, quote, dirt cheap price. Get it? dirt. They're buying dirt for $1.25 an acre. That's super, super cheap. And that allowed people to move further and further west. We're into manifest destiny, people. He also signed a tariff bill that helped protect northern manufacturers, kind of upsets the South. And then he annexed Texas, which is probably the thing that he is most known for, is the annexation of Texas. And Texas becomes part of the Union. So here we go, Texas Rangers. Oh, yeah. Chuck Norris, anybody? How about
prove it? The stars at night
a big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. All right, Pee Wee. All right, our next president from 1845 to 1849 is James K. Polk. He's rocking a mullet, in case you haven't seen it. And those are coming back, right? The mullet. Yes, they were big when I was in high school. He's most known for expanding the U.S. territory as well. He continued to add parts to Texas as well as Wisconsin. And by the time he is done being president, we have the 48 contiguous states of the United States. We are one nation, united. He threatened to go to war with Great Britain over our northernmost boundary. And he wanted to make sure that the United States could expand to the 54-40 line. And in fact, his popular slogan was 54-40 or fight. That's the 49th parallel. Ultimately, that became the boundary with Canada. Now, what he is most known for, though, is the tradition of playing Hail to the Chief. Started with this guy. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there you go. James K. Polk. All right, here's your history mystery for this week. Spooky. It's actually a case about body snatchers. So here's the question. Which president's Secret Service members actually foiled an attempt to steal that president's dead body? Zombie apocalypse, people. We're talking about the zombie apocalypse. So stay tuned. Next week, return right here and find out about the case of the body snatchers. That's been your president's fun facts for the week. We'll see you soon.